A Labour MP will be spoken to by the party's chief whip after telling campaigners protesting against LGBT teaching at a primary school in Birmingham that they were right. Roger Godsiff made the comments at a meeting with protesters. A video of his remarks has been posted on social media.
If I had the opportunity of rolling the clock back, I would do exactly the same thing again, because I think you have a just cause. And I regret the fact that it hasn't been reciprocated by the head teacher. I will continue to fight your corner because you're right. Nothing more, nothing less, you're right on this one.
Well, our correspondent Becky Johnson can bring us the latest now from Birmingham.
It's worth reminding ourselves exactly what these protests have been about. The protesters essentially don't want their children being told by this school in Birmingham, Anderton Park Primary, that it's OK to be gay. They say 4- and 5-year-olds are too young to be told, even that some people have two mums or two dads, and they've been staging noisy demonstrations outside this school for several weeks. And Roger Godsiff, a Labour MP, coming out in support of the protesters, has prompted an angry reaction from some of his Labour colleagues. Angela Rayner, the Shadow Education Secretary, tweeting that his views do not represent the Labour Party and are discriminatory and irresponsible. Now, it was she who reported him to Labour's chief whip, and now we're hearing that Mr Godsiff is going to get a dressing down from the chief whip. We've had a statement from the Labour Party. A spokesperson said the Labour Party has long supported and campaigned for LGBT inclusive education in schools. There's not only a moral imperative, there is also a legal requirement, and schools must comply with the Equalities Act. There's no justifiable reason to stop the teaching of these issues. Roger Godsiff will be spoken to by the Chief Whip and reminded of his responsibilities as an MP. Now, it was only just over a week ago that the Labour-led Birmingham City Council went to the High Court and got an injunction against these protesters holding these demonstrations right outside these school gates. The High Court accepted the City Council's argument that they are intimidating to staff and pupils and set up an exclusion zone around the school. And after Mr Godsiff's intervention supporting the protesters, the Labour deputy leader of the council tweeted Mr Godsiff a furious tweet saying, "How dare you tell men whose homophobic protest was so threatening and disruptive that they had a court injunction issued against them that they are right. You do not speak for me." Now, I have tried to speak to Mr Godsiff today. He wouldn't do anything on camera, but off camera he told me that he's not doing any interviews. He said he's given up on the media. He blames the media, he says, for making this a conflict between the LGBT community and the Muslim community. He said he does still think that the protesters have got a valid point. So that is his view. Meanwhile, this case will be back in the High Court tomorrow, because the protesters are going to get the opportunity to argue that they should be able to hold their demonstrations outside the schools. So they will be coming up against the City Council in the High Court in Birmingham tomorrow.